We're gonna do our makeup real quick. I'm gonna try and keep this simple and cut out some of the extra stuff. So, I've already put primer on my face. I'm just using this stuff here. I like it because it's got the SPF 30 in it. Foundation. I use this Avon one, cream to powder. Seems to work really well for me. And I'm just going to start with a little blender and patting that on and just bouncing it. If you smear it, it tends to put streaks on there. You don't want to go too thick or you'll get cakey. You want to try and match your skin tone as much as you can. I personally don't do that exactly. I go a little bit lighter than my natural skin tone. But it also results in needing to have a few different shades for different times of the year based on how much of a tan you get. Don't forget to blend down your neck. I'm going to do my whole neck and chest a little bit. I do tend to let it get a little bit thick over the beard to cover that color. Next, I'm going to be using Anastasia Cream Contour Palette. I take the same sponge, but I use this corner of it here, and I just dab it a couple of times. And I'm just trying to create a little bit of a shadow right here, coming from the ear down to the corner of the mouth. Not all the way, but in that direction. You don't have to do this. It just adds a little something to help reshape the face. I do another little dab under the bottom lip. And then just a little bit right up by the hairline. Kind of brings down the size of the face a little bit. I'm going to take the same sponge and flip it backwards, and I'm going for a lighter color. I'm going to do the bridge of the nose. Right there with the Cupid's bow. Chin. And across the brow. And with that light and dark color, if you need to, you can kind of blend them together with the foundation side of your blender. Next thing I'll be doing is eye colors. I'm going to be using Morphe 35B. It's got lots of colors in it. I'm just taking a regular, I just use a lot of these little elf brushes. See how it's got kind of a rounded head to it? I'm going to take one of these light colors like this light pink. It's got kind of a metallic to it. I'm going to do that on the inner corner of the eye. You won't see a whole lot of a difference right away, but it does add to the overall effect. I'm going to take some of this peach color and just dust the surrounding area. It matches my skin tone pretty well, so you won't even see that really. But it does help to smooth things out and make it easier for the other colors to glide on and spread. Next we'll do probably this light purple right up here. I'm going to do that on the outside edges of the eyes. So from like here out, there's a couple different shapes you can do. Some people do the backward 7. I do a lot of that because of my age, where you kind of come from over here and down. Some people will actually use just the lid and then they'll blend it up. There's lots of different ways you can do it. I'm probably going to stick mostly to bringing color from a straight line down here. I'm probably even going to use a piece of tape to give me a nice straight edge right there. You can use a business card or whatever you want, if you even want to do that. Sometimes you want to blend it all the way out. There's really no wrong way to do this. Just whatever is that looks good to you. But you can watch a million different videos, get different ideas on how different people are doing stuff. And I just tap into that. I'm going to start with dusting the outer corner of the actual eyelid, and then I'll move my way up. I do both eyes at the same time. Whatever I do on one side, I do it on the other side as well. I don't even think I'm going to do the straight edge on this part. I'm just going to blend it. I'm using small circular motions with a light touch. Kind of stretching out my eyeball. Get that lid. And then coming back in over the top. What I'm trying to do here is create a lighter color area all in here, and then have my shaded area at the top and around the side. So in this case, the backward 7. And then check in the mirror every now and then too to make sure that what you're doing is even. Once I get brows on and lashes, it'll look a lot better. I'm going to just do a couple more layers of different eyeshadows to try and add some color. So I feel like the color is dragging down my eye a little bit, down here in the bottom corner. So I'm going to take True Naked Jewels. I'm going after this white one here, and I'm just going to dust over the top of some of this to add some shine. It'll lighten the whole thing. And it adds a nice shine to it. Simultaneously, it causes you to blend it a little bit. I'm also going to go for something really light and white in that inner corner. That'll really help it to pop a little bit. So I'll go back in here. I'm just going to take some of this white for right now. I'm going to spread that down just a hair. Down the length of the bottom eyelid. Each of these things is going to add a little bit more and build a little bit more. I'm just going to take some of this Avon liquid eyeshadow. I'm going to go over my actual lid with it. I just like it because it's got a little bit of shine to it. So yeah. I also like to do a lot of metallic colors in there. Sometimes I'll use these. Gives a nice little pop every time you close your eyes. Eyeliner. This is just black. I'm going to start on the waterline, the wet part of the eyelid on the bottom. I'm going to just go across the outside out to about the 2/3 of the way across. And then sometimes I go across the top, but only just barely. Because it really does help to define the eye. If you're not careful though, too much of it can drag your eyes down, especially if you're older. Next I'm going to skip on to brows, and then I'll come back to do lashes later. Just using Anastasia brow pomade. It's just a little pot of brown stuff. I'm using a sharply angled small brush. Dip into it. I go really light to start with so that I can see where it is that I'm drawing, in case I don't like it. I'm going to start with my top line, and then I just cut across from the bottom. And then I'll flesh out the rest of it. Because of the shape of my brow, I usually have to fill in the top side a little bit. Because mine does kind of a swoopy thing. I'm doing this so it'll look good in person when I go to work. It won't look as good on camera though. But you can see about how far I come over. There's lots of eye tutorials that'll show you, you take a brush and you draw this line here, and you take another one and you go across the pupil, and then across the iris, or across the outer corner, and that shows you where your brow should be. I don't really use that, I just kind of draw it where the hell I feel like. I figure I want it to look the way I want it to look. Here's the tricky part, doing the second one, making it look like the first one. Yeah. Now my brows did not come out perfectly, so I'm going back into my foundation with a very sharply angled, or sharp bladed almost, type of a brush. I'm just going to get a tiny bit on there. And I'm going to cut the line the way that I want. You can use concealer for this too. I just use the foundation because it's easier and I don't really feel like I need the concealer for it. Next, I'm going to take this white crayon. It's by NYX. Let's see. I'm going to take kind of a fluffy angled brush. And I'm just going to do right up under the brow line, kind of a light line. And I can blend that out if I need to. I just try to highlight that brow bone. And if I do blend it, I usually blend just the bottom half of it, because I want kind of a sharp contrast between the white crayon and the brow. But I don't want there to be a really big difference between the white crayon and the eyeshadow. A little bit, but not like too dramatic. Next, I'm gonna just go in with some mascara. I'm using Lights Camera Splashes by Tarte. Just don't let it touch your skin, or else it'll mess up all the work you just did. It's not always easy to get it off. Makes a big difference. I'm gonna go ahead and do the other eye now. Now, me personally, sometimes lashes get stuck together. So I take a spoolie like this, just a dry one, and I just plant it right next to them and I spin it to kind of break them up. Next I'm going to do lips. Okay, so I'm going to be using this Kat Von D to start. I just do my bottom lip. Press them together. Do your Cupid's bow. And then I like to take these little disposable lip sponge things on a stick and clean up my edges where I need them. They help to get off the excess as well. These don't look even enough to me. This side here is a little bit. Too small. That's the shape of my lip. So we draw it the way we want to see it. I'm going to take and clean up this edge here just the same way I did with the brow. I'm going to take that same brush and dip back into that foundation just to clean up that edge. Then I'm just going to take a little bit lighter shade of pink. Go right in the middle. And that's a quick, easy version. I'm actually just going to go back over with a gloss. It's kind of tinted. In case you're wondering what it is, Huda Lip Strobe. I think I look a lot better than when I started. Enjoy. I'll post some pictures after.